With reopening after lockdown, obviously a lot of procedures, certainly colour procedures in the salon will be slightly different. We have got all these new colour procedures in place, and this will be more limited by time than what it would be by perhaps restrictive measures is what we can do. When a client comes in for a typical colour service, I do think that it's going to be a slightly different service in terms of how we're able to do consultations. The client will have to be gowned up straight away in full protective clothing, and whilst we normally do this afterwards, this will have to be done straight away. We're not sure yet whether we're going to have to wash the hair before a colour service. This would also make a massive deal to us in the whole colour processing time, and especially if you're applying scalp bleaches, as we don't normally do this on freshly washed hair. I think there will be certain time restrictions on how long a client can be in the salon for, especially if we're not serving things like refreshments. If it's a long process such as colour correction, they can be in the salon sometimes all day. This may not be an available service straight away, and although a lot of clients will have been colouring their hair themselves at home, this may have to be done over 2 separate appointments, or indeed if you're booking out for a whole day, making sure that client is looked after whilst they're in the salon with you. I think the most requested colour service when we open is certainly going to be getting rid of people's greys. I think people have gone a long time in between visits, so I do think we're going to be using double the amount of colour that we were using before, and I do think that has to be reflected in the price that we're charging as well for these services. I'm hoping that the restrictions that we've got in place aren't going to hamper with our creativity. We're a very creative bunch of people, and I think it's important that we keep this in mind, as well as just doing the services that clients have been essentially desperate for whilst we've been in lockdown. So I do hope that we can still be as creative as what we were before. I think in such strange times, maybe it will just be a case of getting people back in to get the essential cuts and colours and getting their hair looking fabulous again. I'm not sure whether new trends emerging will certainly filter through within the first few weeks, but I'm hoping when we get back to some sort of normality that we can maybe start thinking about putting those trends in place as well for clients that are desperate to look different. I do think to begin with it's going to be a lot of colour correction, and I think we need to make sure that we're allowing for this, maybe online consultations with your clients first, or indeed, in my case, I'm getting all of my stylists to call their clients beforehand and have a little chat over the phone so that we can book the correct time out for them when they come back into the salon.